Hello guys, this is Tirupati Reddy. Welcome to my channel on Pega. Today we are going to see about Q processor, which we will use it in daily life. Let me jump on to the topic. We are going to see about all these things in today's video. So what is a Q processor and difference between Q processor and standard agent, which we have earlier. And then we will see briefly on Kafka, how it will work and how many ways we can call the Q processor and how to trace the Q processor from Admin Studio. Let me start with the first topic. What is the Q processor? So Q processor will use it for the automate the process without having any manual intervention. So let me take an example of sending an email to the end users on a daily basis. So what I need to do, so I need to browse all the work object which is created on that particular day, and I need to make it as CSV file, and I need to send it to the users via email. For that, if you don't have a queue processor and job scheduler, what we need to do? So we need to log into the system manually, and we need to wait till 12 o'clock, and we need to send an email to the users on a daily basis. If you want to do it in every day means, so people will get frustrated, and so it's very hard to do it exactly at 12 o'clock. So for that, Pega has come up with the one rule, which is nothing but a queue processor, which will be taken care of everything on the exact scheduled time. So when we have a standard agent, so prior to the 8 version, so Pega has come up with queue processors. We will see about so what is the disadvantages of the standard agents and what we have in new features in queue processor. So earlier in standard agent, so how the process will be, we will have a one master agent, so where it will create an schedule instance, and it will push the record to the PRC's queue table, and then so it will go on to the sleep, and so the actual agent will come into the picture and the at the schedule time, and it will look into the PRC's queue table, and it will process and it will go off. This everything will be taken care by AQM auto queue mechanism. Whereas in the queue processor, the Pega has come up with advanced messaging system. This is nothing but a Kafka. Everything will be send it in terms of messaging, which will be faster than comparing with the old AQM mechanism. And so those details will not be stored in any table for the immediate action. And whenever we create a queue processor, immediately it will create an partitions in the folder, Kafka data folder. So prior to the 8.7 version, it's used to create a nearly 20 partitions. So from 8.7 onwards, it's used to create 6 partitions. Those all those details I will show you in a while. And let me go to the another slide. So before to that, what is Kafka? So what is the use of that? We will see. So let's assume here each producer has a one application and each consumer has a one application. So here the Kafka cluster will be act as a broker in between the all the applications. Let's assume I am the consumer application. I need to get the data from 3 applications from the producers. What I need to do, I need to individually connect to the all the 3 producers, and similarly you are the another consumer. Let's assume you want to get the data similarly like getting from the all the 3 application. Similarly, like it will go on. So here if you see, right, so here the number of connections will be increased if you want to explicitly connect with the all the applications. So LinkedIn has come up with the Kafka messaging system where it will act as a broker for all the applications producer will push their information to the Kafka cluster. Similarly, the consumer will subscribe and will use the data. If I take an one simple real-time example, so everyone knows about the Udemy. So here the producers, if you take it as playlist of the videos like Pega and Java and Python similarly. So here if you take a consumer as a end user, all the playlist will be pushed to the Kafka cluster. This is a messaging broker, and then so what we will do, we will subscribe and we will try to watch those videos, whatever the videos that we have subscribed. This is a brief about Kafka, and later LinkedIn has handed over it to the Apache. Let's see. We will create an queue processor, and we will see the other things. Let me jump onto the design studio. Let me quickly create a one JavaScript queue processor. Let's go to the queue processor. Let me create. Just I'm giving a simple name. Demo queue processor. So this is associated node type. So we will have bigs and custom and all those things. So for now we will go with the background process. Yeah, similarly, we have previously delayed and immediate. If you want to process immediately, we will go with the immediate. And previously for enabling and disabling, we used to have a checkbox. So here we have this one, and let me give the class personal details, and let me quickly create a one sample activity which just logs the message into the Pega data logs. This log message. Processor execute successfully. Thank you. PID. Info, this is fine. Let me save this. This is max attempts. So this is an retry mechanism. I can say that this will indicate the initial delay and the delay factor. So just to talk about on delay factor, right? So this factor is used to calculate the period between next retry attempts by multiplying the previous delay value by the factor. So with the default initial delay value of 1 minute and the delay factor of 2, the delay sequence is 1 minute, 2 minutes, and so on. Maximum calculated wait time is 24 hours. So let me take an scenario when this is attempting for the first time. So the delay factor will be 2. So it's gone for the some error scenario, and it's want to retry for the second time. So this delay, the whole delay factor will be considered as the initial delay, and so it will be calculated with the actual value with again 2. 2 into 2, it will become a 4. And when you want to try it for the third time, so it will be become like a 4 into 2, it will be like 8. This is how the delay factor will work. And this is common one, like the long running queue process threshold value and all those things which we are aware of it. Let me call this queue processor from the flow by using the run in background smart safe. So type of queue, we have a two types, standard and dedicated. I will talk in a while. Let me first go with the dedicated. So when we select it as a dedicated, it will ask for the queue processor that we have created, and let me submit it. See, let me run it in order to check whether it is, lagging the message or not. And before to that, let me verify whether it has created the partitions, in Kafka or not. The name is demo queue processor. Let me go to the space PRPC personal edition, Tomcat, Kafka data. So these are all the the OOTP ones. This is the one which we have created right now. Demo queue processor. Each one will be treated it as a one partition. So from 8.7 onwards, it's used to create a six partitions. Prior to 8.7 version, it's used to create a nearly 20 partitions. These are all the OOTB ones. Yeah, if you see here, right, Pigeon standard processor. This is an one of the OOTB queue processor which will take care of the all the queue processor which will be created by us. So it's more or like so previously we used to have even master agent which will create a schedule instance and which will be do all the process auto queue mechanism basically. So here in Kafka messaging service, so this queue processor will be taken care of everything like master agent. Yeah, let me go back to the studio, and it's not a mandatory. Let me give run it quickly. Create. And it will take a a minute of time. So because the initial delay will be a 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's before to that. Previously, we used to have a table called system queue default entry for an standard agents, which is connected to the PRCS queue table. PRCS queue table. So what do we have now? So for the queue processor, we have system message queue processor. So when I open it, so we have a two classes here. One is broken item and the another one is delayed item. So under this broken items class, so we will store the instances so which is fall into the error. So all those details will be available in this particular table, and the delayed items will be available in this particular table. Like when we want to delay it for the 1 or 2 hours or 3 minutes, very simple. If we take so all those records will be available in this table. Let me open table. Data PRCs delayed queue. Select star from but we don't have anything now. We will see about this in a while. Before to that, let me verify whether it has unlock the information in the system or not. 6006 configuration system operations logs log files Pega ID 6006 6006 it's haven't created. Let me check whether it has created instance for it or not. If you see here, this is the one which will be responsible for like a master agent. Before to that, let me check why this is not creating an entry. I think we have given a RAM class here. Personal details. Let me save it and run it one more time. Go away. Wait for a minute and we'll see. 6008. Let's verify. System operations logs 6008. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Let me check for the activity. It has created in a RAM class. Personal details. Save it. Doesn't require anymore. Save and run it. Hold for a minute. Save it in 6010. So let me run one more time. Save and run. So let's directly click on. Wait for a few more seconds. Operations logs. Let's open that. It has created an entry with 6012. Okay, and let me go back to the flow. So here we have two options. So one is standard and the another one is dedicated. So when we select for dedicated, it will ask for the queue processor. Instead of that, if I go with the standard, right, so directly it will ask for the activity name. So like this one, directly we can configure it in the run in background. So what will happen? So and what is the difference between the standard and dedicated? So when we select as a standard, right? So the PZ standard processor, which is an OOTB queue processor, will be take care of everything. Let me save and run it once, whether it is executing or not. Save and run. 6013. Before to that, so when to go for standard and when to go for dedicated. So let me open standard queue processor. Let me open it from Admin Studio then. Okay. So this is an one of the final version which we cannot save as into the our rule set versions. So if we have a requirement saying that so we need to process it immediately and so which has to be run on 5 nodes, and similarly which will have reatoms with the 3 and the initial delay with 1. So if our scenario, if it is not satisfying with the any one of these conditions, so we will go with the our custom queue processor. Otherwise, we can make use of the already the available OBTB queue processor instead of creating the new one. This has to be decided before we create the queue processor, whether we need to go ahead with the OOTB one or the custom one which we need to create. Let me check whether it has created an entry or not. 013 seems created. Yeah, it's created. So there is no much difference between the standard and dedicated. So if you are okay with the already the configured items, so we will go ahead directly with the PZ standard processor. Instead, so if you want to define the custom one, so we will go with the custom queue processor. And so similarly, we can call it from the activity as well as. So previously, in order to call the standard agent, so we use it to have a queue for agent. Now for the for the queue processor, we have a queue for processing. Similarly, whatever the options that we have in the smart shape, similarly we have here also. And let me run one scenario with the delay time, so that we almost cover with the queue processor. Let me open this one, delete it, no more required. Let me go with dedicated and queue processor. And so I want to go with the delay with the 2 minutes. Save. Save here as well as save. Run it. It's fall into the flow configuration. We need to provide date time. So as we have selected delayed, right, so we need to provide the one of the property. Just I am giving the one data birth property which is already I have created. Data birth. Save. Let me run one more time. Save and run. So as I have configured the data birth property, let me give with 4 5. Continue. Still it is getting expected end of reference string. Yeah, we have given dot. Submit, save, run it one more time. Let me select this data. It's important for us right now. 48, continue. Yeah. Let me verify whether it has inserted into the queue table or not. We have 2 items. The queue 15, 16. maybe it has requeued the item. So because we have got an error, right? So that could be the reason. Let's wait for 2 minutes and we'll see whether it has inserted or not. And meanwhile, let me go ahead with the admin studio and I will explain like how we can requeue the items and how to trace her and all those things. So yeah, if you see here, right? So we have one broken item for the PZ standard process. Let me open it. Yeah, so this is went into the broken table. Let me see for the details, the reason behind it. Uh, Exception lock could not be acquired on instance. So this is an locking issue. So before we need to do the requeue. So we need to fix it and then we can do it for the requeue. So that will be again pushed into the table. And in this way we need to trace, and if you want to trace, so directly we have a trace option. And so this is how we need to trace, and we can requeue the items. And so just if you want to see how this is running and everything that process, so we can see the data flow, which will be an one of the real-time process which will always look into that particular topic. And as we know, within the topic we will have a a multiple partitions. Let's verify whether it has created entry or not for 6016. Yeah, it has created an item for that. So this is all about the queue processor. We have seen on the queue what is queue processor and the difference between the standard agent and queue processor, and so how far better the queue processor than standard agent. And yeah, that is all about today's video. And thanks for watching. And so yeah, please comment it out so that we can learn more things. Thank you so much.